Black Politicianz TV, man. Who do we have today?
Lowery.
Lowery. Who? I don't know that name. Look. I heard that you got beat up in 7th grade or something like that. Was it 7th grade?
Nah, I definitely won't say it.
What grade was that?
You know what? I did get beat up one time.
I do my research. So what's going on?
Listen, so it's so crazy because I grew up in Tunnels Terrace, and now these two girls was fighting. It had nothing to do with me, but because one of the girls got the best of the other one, I wanted to fight the one that got the best of her, right? And yeah, she won. She put 2 scratches on the mine. I'll never forget. I had them 2 scratches on mine for a long time.
So you took that L. So how was it growing up in the L?
Listen, it was life, man. So I was raised by my grandparents. My mom, I was the 80s baby. So my mama, she was a part of the crack epidemic. And it hit home, and by the time me and my little brother was 7 and 8 years old, we started staying with my grandma and TTs. But they always stayed in the houses in the back of TTs, so that was life. So
when you say it hit home, was you a product of it as in the advancement of it, or was you a crack baby? And I want to say because my biological mother was on drugs. She was stable, but she was a product of the crack cocaine era. I was adopted. So my biological mother was a product of the 80s, like crack epidemic. So was when you say that.
Well, no, because my mama said she didn't start smoking until after she had met my dad. So I was born in 86, and she said they started smoking crack and weed. And they used to call it something called woos. So it didn't start with them just smoking crack out of a pipe. It started with them doing it through their weed. And that's how they would get high. And I think when that high no longer worked, that's when they started smoking crack out of a pipe.
So how was, you ever had any time that you was hungry, it was nothing on the stove when you was a young girl that you can remember?
Absolutely. I love my mama to death. I appreciate everything she does now, but the fact of the matter is we had a lot of those days. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those, I have met my brother only a year apart, so I was his mama, I tell my kids all the time, I never was able to be a little kid. I never was able to enjoy being a kid and knowing that my parents are going to take care of me and all I got to do is just go to school and come home. No, I had to make sure my brother had a haircut, had to make sure he ate. Sometimes I had to give him my food, because my mama was somewhere getting high. And that's just what it was.
But you love your mother.
Absolutely.
And you appreciate your mother.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about drug addiction when it comes to parents?
Everything she was taught me what not to be, and just her not loving herself. Of course, she didn't know how to love us. So it made me search for love in different places, in the wrong places. You know what I'm saying? I always knew I would never be addicted to drugs. I'm probably the only person I know that every time I've tried to smoke weed, it make my hair hurt. But I think I programmed myself to not get addicted because she told me that's what she started. You know what I'm saying? So I never, smoking weed or whatever. Like I said, people can do it and they get addicted just like that. It's never been me. I ain't gonna say I ain't never tried it, but it's always a side effect with it that I just can't. It's not something I would be addicted to. It's not something that I'm gonna spend a whole lot of money on or go broke over.
But you did get addicted to something.
Yeah, sex.
You got addicted to sex and love.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Can we, when did you have your first child?
At 16. Had my first child at 16 years old. And the thing was, I wanted a child. I wanted that unconditional love. I wanted to be able to be something different for somebody than what I grew up with. And I tell them all the time, he's 11. My oldest son was 20 years old. So the mother I was at 16, I'm not that mother at 37, So the struggles that my oldest child went through, my twins will never go through. And the struggles the twins went through, he'll never go through, And we have that conversation all the time when I tell him, you my last baby. So the mistakes that I made with them, we can't make with you. So that's why I'm a little harder on you. That's why you can't go as many places and do as many things, and you think you're not able to do certain stuff. But it's only because as you grow older, you should learn a lesson. You shouldn't do the same thing with all your kids. You should want better for them. That's growth.
Well, I don't know who you are at all. I just heard. You got kids? Like, who are you? Like, can you name your kids? Like,
I have 4 children. My oldest name is Tazari Butler. Then I have twin girls. They are Azaya and Azaria. And my baby boy who hiding behind my back right now. His name is Bruce. So I have 5. My oldest one is known as Little J-Bo. Then I got the twins Zapu and Nunu. And then Little Bruce.
Oh, so you gave everybody nicknames.
Other than Brucey.
So who gave us the nickname?
Me. Me. He is definitely a mama's boy.
How you doing today, little bro? So you a mama's boy? What is something that your mom cooks for you that like makes you feel like appreciative and at home?
Chicken.
Chicken, what else? Chicken and macaroni?
Yep.
You like baked macaroni or?
Yeah, baked. I like baked macaroni. But she don't cook baked macaroni. That'd be my grandma.
You out there playing video games? Fortnite, 2K, what you like?
2K and Madden.
You trash in 2K, man. What's your what you got? What you got? PS5, PS4, Xbox One. I don't know how y'all kids do it.
PlayStation.
What's your gamer tag?
You ain't want to tell me?
Shout them out. Oh, you want to shout them out? Because maybe, we get some people to play with you.
They might want to play with you. Nah.
Oh, so you that nice on 2K? Okay.
Tell them to find you.
They got to.
So, Miss Lady, how important is family to you?
Family is everything. My kids are everything.
What you mean by everything? Like the song by Mary J. Blige? Like what? What you mean?
I'm gonna tell you something. Like when you grow up and you don't have love and you don't have protection, you are overprotective when it comes to your kids. Like, man, the love I got for them, I can't even describe. Like, seriously, I would do anything for them. And that's just the truth. Like, I've never played about my kids from the time I had my first one to this last one. It ain't, yeah. Mm-mm.
So when you was like searching for love, like, do you feel like you love harder than people loved you, whether friends, relationships, family members?
Absolutely. But I'm going to be honest with you. I had to, the same thing I tell my kids. I remember I was in church one day and this guy prophesied and he was like, God told me to tell you he didn't make you for friends. So when you try to get more close to a person than you do to God, it'll never work out. And I was like, that's so deep. You know what I'm saying? He was like, your purpose is for God. And so as soon as if you're not moving in his will, he'll cause chaos all around you. And I tell all my children that. I'm like, God did not make us for people. You can be a friend to people. You can be friendly with people. But always know that you have a purpose in life. And it's to be great, I know everybody say that, their kid's going to be great. But I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's something special about every person that I birthed. And I tell them that all the time. And every single one of them will be special. They will be great. So it's important that they gravitate more to God and each other than they do to other people. I feel like gravitating to people is kind of sometimes a cause a whole lot of heartbreak.
So what is it like? Because I interview a lot of fathers, and now like I'm interviewing a mother. What is it about motherhood that people don't understand? Because I understand the dad part. Shout out to my son Braylon. Look, my little boy. Look, I understand the dad part. But what is it about motherhood that is so special that people don't understand?
Let me tell you something. It's just, I know my children's dads love them, but it's different when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? If either one of them call me and I had the choice to choose between them and me, it's gonna be me all day. It ain't nothing to think about. It ain't nothing to discuss. it's gonna be me all day, you know. And that's the first thing I said, like, when I lost my son, like, God, this ain't what we discussed, you know. I'm not supposed to bury my kids. This won't in my plan. You gonna have to fix this. I don't know how you gonna do it. I don't know if I need to wake up again tomorrow, but you gonna have to fix this. And I meant that. You know what I'm saying? To know, let me tell you something. Ever since Azari was little, anybody will tell you, every time he ran a touchdown, I ran down the field with him. Every time he was in the principal's office, I was in the principal's office with him. It's nothing that he ever been through that I won't there for. When he had his first son, I was there. When he had his first surgery himself, I was there. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that my son, none of them ever been through an important moment in their life, and I wasn't there. So I don't know how to be nothing but their mama, you know. And so to know that I lost my child and I wasn't able to see him for days, it made me sick to my stomach, because was he okay? Did he think about me? Did he need me? You know what I'm saying?
So when we talk about, we're going to get into that, definitely. But when we talk about raising kids and the mother or the father, which one loving most, my opinion, I feel like when, and you could just tell me how you feel about this. Because sometimes I can admit I struggle with this, but with the co-parenting relationship I have with my child's mother, I learned to grow in time and realize this. When we're together, say we're together, and you had my kid at 16. You're already way mature than I am. I'm just a 16-year-old little boy, you feel me? As we get older, and no matter the age or whatever, when we get older, women already outgrowing us because there has this mother instinct, right? So when the child comes into play, and you outgrow me, or maybe you feel like I'm not doing certain things, I feel like the love could be stronger if the family stayed together. And hear me out, because when us fathers separate from the mother, and you got the kid, because I don't automatically get custody for the kid, you the mother. Do you know what sometimes it be like, whether we admit it or not, I'm just admitting it as a father. If I can't have you, it's going to take some time for me to play my part in his life. So do you feel like relationships could be built stronger in the household if people was just together?
Absolutely. I think children having both parents in the same household is important. However, unfortunately, it's not life all the time. You know what I'm saying? But what I do think is you got to come together for the children. It really shouldn't be any division. So my ex-husband, Bruce's dad, we're family. You know, we haven't been together in 6 years, but we're family. You know what I'm saying? We co-parent, we talk, we don't argue. If something happens, like, we come together as a family. We don't expect to be together again, but it's different, you know. However, with my daughter's father, it's a little different, you know. He hard-headed, I'm hard-headed. So it's like we always clash. And you don't want to make your children feel like they in between what y'all got going on. However, what people don't realize is kids are close to their mother. So, like I said, I had my oldest at 16 years old, and I am a very transparent parent, okay? It's nothing I don't talk about with these kids because I didn't have that. So I want to talk to my daughters about being promiscuous. I want to talk to my daughters about having sex before marriage. I want to talk to my daughters about preteen pregnancy, like, you know, teen pregnancy. I want to talk to them about drugs and addiction that runs so deep in our family. So I talk to them about so much stuff. So if I happen to have a disagreement with the dad, then, you know, they're more likely to know what's going on. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's just how close I am with my children. So I feel like, you know, no matter what y'all had going on, y'all made a baby or babies, and it's important that they see that for them, everybody can get along. And that means if it's you and your new person and them and their new person, everybody should come together as a family, because it's all about the kids at that point.
So, growing up in your struggles, searching for love, and also being defended, are you a feminine female or a masculine female? Like, do you beat on men, or do you cook and prepare the plate?
Both. I don't put my hand on nobody because I don't want nobody putting their hand on me. So I do not put my hand on them, but I'm very strong-minded. And I am, like I said, to me, I saw my mama be weak so much for a man. So, yeah, you ain't getting it out of me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's a bad thing, because my person ain't her person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not her. So sometimes it can come off a little too aggressive, or that you're trying to mommy your person because you have a standard. And so that's something I think with growth, you learn from that. And also, I didn't have a dad until I was 10 years old. So a lot of things I went through before the age of 10 with molestation and things like that, I was upset with him, because I'm like, what if he was here? Maybe he could have prevented that. Maybe that wouldn't have happened to me. Maybe my mama wouldn't have been on drugs like that. You know what I'm saying? So much happened early in life that molded me into the woman I had to be. I always had to be strong. I didn't have time to cry and feel sorry for myself, because at the end of the day, all I had was me.
So, even though all you had was you in the beginning, now you have your kids, you have fathers of your kids, and Black Politicianz TV, like, I'm a father myself, and I always want to I want to end it off like this. Is it anything positive, abundance of gratitude, appreciation that you want to say to your child's fathers, to let them know? I know I may be hard on you. I know we may be going back and forth. But, hey, I appreciate that one time that you came and fixed my tire when nobody else came to fix my tire. Like, can we just appreciate both fathers of your children?
So, listen. Absolutely. Like, first of all, thank you for the kids. Like, thank you for the kids. Thank you for beautiful children, smart children. Thank you for the superstars. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to Bruce for the wonderful co-parenting. Thank you for always stepping up for all of my kids. He even taught the twins how to walk. He was there until Zari was my son used to cut up my oldest, and people were like, you are that bad little boy, and he was still there. So I appreciate him. To the twins' daddy, let me tell you something. I remember we beefed so hard, he took me to court for custody. And that humbled me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the fact that he loved his daughters enough to go fight for them. You feel me? Like most dads, when a mama say you can't see your kids, they just let it go. Well, she just won't let me see them. Like, that joker took me to court. So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That, and I tell them that all the time. Like, yo, he loved y'all. He took me to court. So fighting for them is important. Even with Tazari's dad, like, you were able to teach him stuff I never would, because you were a part of a life I never was. First of all, I'm not no man. I ain't never had no baby mama. I've never been a part of anything in the streets. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know anything about that type of life. So, I could never teach him that. So, thank you.